Unley today for Brian Cunningham, playing in his 250th game for Port Adelaide. Only 4 other players have achieved that, so Cunningham becomes a 5th. And it's always a big day when Port Adelaide are in form and Sturt are in form, and we've got fine conditions. A very big crowd in attendance. We go to the match. Your commentators, Peter Marker and Ian Day, at the 7.5-minute mark of the first term. Sturt got a fly. They were leading 3-1 to Port Adelaide 1 point.
Gee, there's got to be 14 or 15,000 people here. Jam-packed is the Unley Oval. Spiel and Folletic. Anderson around the corner, coming to meet the ball, getting up nicely. Andrew Downs in front of Tim Evans, takes a fine defensive mark.
Played that very well. Tim Evans is going to find it difficult in the confines of Unley Oval. Zubranic was beaten by that ball. Darrington played a fine game on Monday. 3 after disposal, a little bit technical. Bradley's certainly a fair player. I know he likes playing cricket, but there's a bit of a whisper that he's not too keen to go, but I'm sure that's incorrect. Davies on a lead, splits the pack, couldn't take the mark. Hollis, Painter won't miss. Through it goes. The Blues are playing very, very well. 4-1 Sturt, Port Adelaide a point.
Yes, moving the ball around. As I mentioned, Hollis was playing centre last week, just trying to work out his permanent forward pocket this week. But Davies, a huge leap over the top of the pack. The ball came to ground, a quick handball out from Hollis to Painter. He steadied onto the left leg. In goes the goal, and Sturt off to a magnificent start. 4 goals in 8.5 minutes.
Russell Ebert's in the square now. It's apparent that he's changing with Clifford on the ball. Ebert got the kick away, wobbled one forward. Folletic comes in. Huppets went for the mark as well. Playing too well, Port Adelaide. Pake for Sturt. Well, the kick found Motley, but Motley didn't find the ball. Hughes, Ebert, Giles. No doubt about Russell Ebert's handball. It's spot on. Through the pack goes Anderson. Barbary for Sturt. Oh, the handball. Oh, it eventually found Painter. Painter's handball to Zubranic is spot on. Through goes Wilson. He's got a ton of pace. I think he's going to kick that one as well. Oh, Sturt have gone berserk here at Unley. 5-1, quarter a point. We've only played 10 minutes in.
Pace and more pace, Peter. They ran Port Adelaide off their feet then as it came through the centre line. Handball after handball, and finally Wilson got round his opponent, straightened up, and what a magnificent running shot for goal. 5-1 the Blues, Port Adelaide a point, and do you think Russell Ebert has problems?
Port Adelaide may have a hangover from that great Monday effort against Norwood. Sturt also had a hard game on Sunday against the Bays. Bradley went for that one. Barbary stayed down, did the right thing. Davies is on a lead. I think he's going to get there. Gee, that was well put, that ball. Barbary knew exactly what to do with it. And the important thing about Davies is that he can kick them from so far out. Kick number 3 for Davies coming up. He's had 2 kicks and kicked 2 goals. In simple terms, that represents a 100% conversion rate for the Sturt champ. The way he's going, he took 100 to shore this year. Kick coming back, but not far enough. Yes. 3 goals to the big fella. 6-1 the Blues, Port Adelaide a point. Port haven't got many moves. They could put Hughes to full back, although I agree with Ian Day. I don't think Dutch is doing much wrong at the moment. Painter for Sturt. Dutch is in front of Davies. Up goes Davies. Couldn't take it. Craig the crumbs. Onto the left boot. That's out on the full. You almost expect Sturt to kick a goal with every shot at the moment, Ian, but I guess that would be expecting too much of them. But they are playing well.
Magnificent start, Peter. Bounced out full of confidence, and certainly hasn't done anything for the confidence of the Magpies.
That move of Painter was to the centre, I think, was a good one, Ian.
Just a second. The umpire forcing him to come back and kick across the mark, which he can do, of course, because it was a penalty-free kick rather than a mark and or a free. Now he's got to kick across that mark. So Eckerman will be forced to defend to the outer side. Harris waving for the ball. Spiel in attention. Harris and Spiel. Spiel up, good mark. We didn't see him take a lot of field marks last Sunday. got his hands to the ball but couldn't bring them down. Spill's kick is a nice one. Davies at the back, Hughes in front, up he goes, can't bring it down into the open goal, goes Filkey again. Goal number 2. Sturt raining goals at the moment, can do no wrong. 7-1, they lead Port Adelaide a point.
Well, they're certainly doing it well, Sturt. They've got so many players at the drop of the ball on that occasion when it came down. Filkey swallowed it, ran into the open goal and kicked truly. Interesting to note at this stage, Ian, we've played, 13 minutes. Sturt have kicked 7 goals, and I don't think Motley's had a kick yet. Now, his form this year has been outstanding, but at this stage they don't need him. They're going straight down to the goal mouth.
Straight over the top, Peter. They're getting the ball out of the centre brilliantly and dispatching it in similar fashion, and it's killing Port Adelaide at the moment. They've thrown Kennedy onto the ball to see if he can stem the tide. Spiel up, Kennedy gets the thump away, but this is where they can't find a man who can get the ball out of the centre. On that occasion, Bradley got it over to Weave it towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Cunningham now. Fumbled, Paletic through. Zubernick the opportunity. The running player is Craig. You'll need backup support. Brendan Howard back in the back pocket. Sturt supremely confident, well balanced. Motley up. Brings down the ball, but it's not a mark. Try to get it out to Zubernick. Centre wing. Ebert. Nowhere to go. Sleight of hand back to Kinnear, Craig, Barbary, Motley. It was painted to Motley. They go forward up towards full forward. Davies again, can't bring this one down. I think he's going to get a free kick. Tony Giles wants holding the ball. All the Port Adelaide players do, but umpire Schofield has a different idea of the whole act. Davies pushed in the back, 15 metres out, 45-degree angle, and Sturt a chance to kick their 8th goal. Well, we haven't played 15 minutes. What's the record number of goals for a quarter?
I think it's 15 or 16, Ian, one of the two.
They're on target. Davies. That's his 4th. Oh, the crowd loving it out here in the Unley stand. Davies 4 goals. Sturt 8-1, an unbelievable start. Port Adelaide a point.
At the 15-minute mark, Sturt have got 8. The ball came in then from Painter. It was beautifully run down in front of the grandstand. Davies made very good position. You can make your own mind up from the replay, whether you think it was a push in the back or play on or whatever. Nevertheless, he got the free kick, kicked his 4th. That's 62 for the season for the giant full forward. Sturt doing very well at the moment here at Unley Oval.
Kennedy against Spiel. Now Port Adelaide have just got to get it out of the centre circle. This time it's Huppert who takes them away to the half-forward line. A really chance for a score. Getting back, Tim Pate's got too much pace for Paletic. Gets it around the corner. Overrunning it was Whittlesey. Pake again close to the line. Paletic the tackler, and the ball is out of play half-forward right flank. Port Adelaide in attack and desperately needing a goal.
First occasion these sides met at Football Park earlier in the year. Sturt were well on top of Port Adelaide midway through the second. The Magpies rallied. I don't know if they can do it today. That's a very big lead. Derrington got the kick away. Painter the crumbs. He kicks it forward. Hughes. Read that better than Motley. Hughes is asked to go back for his kick. He should find Giles. Giles has made a space. Not Giles, Cole. Brenton Cole. First kick Cole. Port Adelaide's best player last week, probably. Spiel up high, punches it towards Port's goal actually, but it's gone out. It'll be a ball in. It's 8-1, Sturt, Port Adelaide a point. I wonder what's going through Russell Ebert's mind as he runs in behind Dexter Kennedy. Paletic, not sure which way to go. He left foots one forward, doesn't get the lucky bounce. He gets a point instead. 2 points Port Adelaide, the Blues are 8-1.
Yes, the Port Adelaide attacking division of shambles at the moment. Gee, that's a great kick in towards Eddie Fry in front with Paul Pleach has been paid the mark. In the pocket is Clifford, but Paul Pleach can't find the football. Going short to Kennedy. Big Dexter had to get round Spiel, forced to play on out in front of Hupperts. Oh, he's going to get mown down there at the back of the pack. It was thumped away by the big Sturt player in Gary Ford. They're running the ball brilliantly. Wilson to Derrington. The Blues into attack to Motley. Half-forward line. Beautifully done. Plays on quickly. Out in front of Davies. so easy. Port Adelaide can't find the footing. Sturt moving it brilliantly. Davies already 4, 30 metres out, right in front. And he's going to take his time. Has not missed from his 4 tries. Kick number 5 coming up. It's a great spectacle, but gee, they're knocking it round as a contest. There it is, goal number 5. Gee, what can you say? Sturt 9-1, Port Adelaide 2 points.
Ball in as we approach the 5-minute mark. Sturt is 12-6, Port 4-3.
Davies 6 goals in the first quarter. Eckerman, oh, too fast, Hollis. But he socketed it through his own line, or was it out of play? Out of play, full forward left pocket. Davies and Kennedy. Forward pocket. Davies tried to hook it back. Giles went for the thump. Kennedy throws it out in front of Eckerman, who got a bad bounce. Hollis gets it over to Wilson, jams it onto his boot quickly. Goal number 13. Second goal, Wilson. That's how easy it is. 13-6, plays 4-3.
That's just another example of what's happening here at Unley today. Port Adelaide defenders flat-footed. Kennedy gave them the chance. Sure, there was a bad bounce, but Port Adelaide didn't have any running players to make amends. Wilson picked up, scored with his second. Very easy goal. 13-6 the Blues, Port 4-3.
Spiel against Kennedy. Spiel's tap away, came to Ebert. Taken off him by Cunningham. He couldn't get that one clear. Zubernick up against Kinnear. Painter left it behind. Cunningham's handball wasn't that good. Tried to set it up again. Against the tide go Port Adelaide. Wilson gets it over now. Craig sends a long one in towards Davies, pushing and shoving. One hand up. Hughes getting back desperately. Hollis there with him. Claims that player and takes the ball across the line for a throw-in.
Well, Dutch must be breathing sighs of relief at the moment. Played 6 minutes of the second quarter, and Rick hasn't got a goal yet this quarter. Davies behind Kennedy. Kennedy, Curtis, Cunningham. Anderson and Ford. Oh, Ford did it well. Played well so far, Ford. All Sturt players have. Davies from behind. Can't get a leap at it. Appeared to interfere with Dutch again. Kennedy. Filkey. Kennedy should have carried that over. Oh, danger.
Take him off.
Coming off Clifford. We don't know the situation with Clifford, but he may not be well. He certainly doesn't look it. Sturt goal. Davies again. No. Back it comes to Kennedy. Big Dexter. Spiel, leap, couldn't mark. Or Spiel tapped it on well. Eckerman like a Sherman tank for Pleasure. Handballed it to the opposition. It was meant for Ebert. Graham will kick one. That's his second. How easy it is. 14-6 the Blues. Port Adelaide 4-3.
Gee, what a ghastly error. I don't think Painter could believe his luck when the Port Adelaide defending player just handballed straight into his lap. Such is the mess of the Port Adelaide defensive system. And Michael Graham out on his lonesome, got it across there, looking very healthy indeed. Only his second kick for 2 goals, 14-6 to Port's 4-3.
What can Port Adelaide do? They're trailing by 10 goals, 3. Spiel again, Ebert, Anderson. Anderson may be on a wing for Port Adelaide. Athletic. Whittlesey. He played that well. Back into attack. Hughes. Curtis. Kinnear. Oh, poor Pleasure tried to get rid of it. Couldn't. Back it comes to Spiel. Painter. Barbary. Big Rick wants it. He's got a chance this time. Dutch is all over him. Davies will get a free kick. I feel sorry for Dutch because Rick Davies' experience on that occasion, he leant right back into him, causing the interference. Davies coming up for his 7th kick. and he has 6 goals. Certainly kicking a lot better now than he was at the beginning of the year. Through it goes. Goal number 7, Rick Davies, 100% conversion rate from 7 kicks.
Yes, too strong for Dutch then. Although he got the free kick, there's not much Dutch can do. The ball's coming in with such monotonous regularity. Davies has only got to hang about and he must get kicks. Too good a player not to. Gee, the runner's been out to Russell Ebert several times trying to work out a plan of defence, but I can't see any moves that they're making, although the runner's gone into the attacking division. Whether they're going to run a loose man in defence, I'm not sure, but whatever it is, Port have problems. 15-6 to 4-3, Sturt kicking a cricket score.
Yes, I don't think Port can win this game, and not many games that you can say that about. 10 minutes into the second quarter. Will I have to eat my words? I don't know. Gary Ford caught, lucky not to get a decision. Port Adelaide. Fry, he missed Wilson. Brenton Cole, long. Evans one out against Downs. The big chap's got it. This is Port's only chance, is to get it down there quickly and hope like anything that Evans can kick perhaps as many as Davies is going to. And Evans is certainly capable. He's got 2 goals in the first quarter. This is his 3rd kick. Shouldn't miss. And he doesn't. 3 kicks, 3 goals. 5-3 Port Adelaide. Sturt 15-6. The Blues, the Magpies are 5-4.
Bounce down on the half-forward left flank. Kennedy and Spiel. No, it's Harris on this occasion. Cunningham around the corner towards Anderson in front. Tries to knock it on. Fry kicks it on. Bilton, well done. Gives a chance to Cole now. Wilson can't catch him. Chips out the pass. At the last moment, brilliantly intercepted by Ford. Wilson did catch him in the end as Cole couldn't get the ball away to advantage. Pake, check side of centre wing. Kicks long towards the half-forward line. Hollis there over the top. Hughes. The back Harvey. The handball out is not good. Hollis to Derrington is better football. Swings out the pass back to Hollis. Hughes there. Thumps it away from that player. Eckerman and Kennedy. Eckerman again. Giles. Centre half back. He takes his time. He's going to get run down. Port Adelaide so indecisive. Most unlike them. Bucky gets trodden on. They're using him as a doormat. And umpire Schofield will come in and bounce.
Port Adelaide, I think, have lifted a bit in their defensive work, but they haven't lifted in attack. I think that's their main problem. They've got to be able to score goals as well as stop the Blues kicking them. Bucky Cunningham, or not a good kick to Evans. Downs in front. As Tim Evans ran out on the lead, then he had to try and drop back. Downs beat him for it. Zubranic in front of Kinnear. Kinnear not playing well. Bradley is. He's a good player, Bradley. Whittlesey in front. He's also a good player. Looked like he was going to take over centre for Sturt, Whittlesey. But I think the Blues have worked that out. We've got a few players that can play there. Next to Kennedy again, misses the spoil. Spiel gives it on to Painter. Painter will kick long. Hughes is in front of Motley and marks easily. Plays it on. That's good work, Hughes. Eckerman in trouble. Motley gave it to Derrington. Down goes Derrington. And gets one for a push in the back. Perhaps a bit lucky. Derrington's having probably his best year. Spiel off. Hargraves on. Davies and Dutch. Dutch one hand. No mark. Cunningham pirouettes. Giles has got it. Short to Kennedy. Oh, poor Pleasure now. Short to Bradley. A few open spaces now. Port Adelaide are finding them. A long kick. Evans in front. Couldn't mark it. Waiting down Feletic. Pushed away by Fry. Feletic another chance. Gets out of it. I don't know how. Lines it up. Oh, a great shot for goal, Feletic. First goal to him. Port Adelaide 6-4. The Blues 15-7.
Experience plus Feletic. He tapped the ball down there and he looked like he was almost going to tunnel ball it back again, but miraculously he came out with the ball, and although he was under pressure, his VFL training came in, jammed onto the ball, his boot onto the ball quickly and hooked it back. Magnificent goal, and gee, Port Adelaide need a spark from somewhere. Maybe that was it.
Hargraves and Kennedy. Big Dexter got his hands to that one. He missed Bradley. Craig, Filkey. Running through his poor Pleasure. Given that plenty. Well, if they did need a lift, they've certainly got it now. 2 to Paul Pleasure. 7-4 Port Adelaide, the Blues 15-7.
Well, that was more like Port Adelaide taking the ball confidently away from centre. The handball from Cunningham was good to Paul Pleasure, and he strode towards goal. He but gave the lead short, but the ball sailed over his head by some 15 metres and through for a much-needed 7th goal.
Well, our statistician Chris Day tells us that Port Adelaide is dominating in terms of taking it out of the middle. Not doing much with it though when they get it out. Ford came through and got the free kick. Screws one forward. Motley's in front of Harvey. 2 grabs. The umpire's got his hand up to his head. I think he may have paid that one for a high one. Umpire Schofield puts Cole out of the way. Davies on a lead. Motley's seen him. Davies not quite. Got it on the half volley. Dutch couldn't pick it up. Dutch probably lost all confidence because of what's happened. Motley missed Davies. Filkey. Sturt are not as smooth now as they were. Cunningham out. A ball in. 20-minute mark. 15-7 the Blues. Port Adelaide 7-4.
Yes, I think Port Adelaide was shattered by the first 15 minutes of the Blues. Incredible football. Have not seen better. Hughes. Hargraves. Hooks the ball back. Barbary. Curtis high. Cole. Wobbles a kick towards centre. Lucky bounce for Feletic. Looking for backup support. Can't find it. Cole runs into it. Never should have been given the ball in the first place. Wilson. Back to Pake. The running player is Ford. Filkey. Around Cunningham. Can't get clear. Holding the ball, said the umpire. And Bucky Cunningham takes his free kick from the half-back flank. Anderson wants it in high. It's going to be Harris, the leaper. Anderson at the back. Kicks it back to Wilson. Almost to Cole. Kennedy ought to mark this one and does. Kennedy just the check side of centre wing. Looking for a running player. Port haven't got too many this afternoon. Bradley's been one of the few. Zubranic nips in. Shows a lot of speed and takes the ball check side of the centre circle. Barbary. Painter. Here go the Blues again. Davies on the lead, right with him, Dutch, but a shrug of the shoulders by Davies. Easy if you like. Gets rid of the less experienced opponent and takes the mark 35, 40 metres out. Anthony Dutch having a torrid time, but he's sticking to his task manfully. Bradley in trouble behind the play. Runners and trainers out with him. But the Sturt camp right on number 24. Going to fade right across the goal by the looks of the things. He's getting a nickname out here of Dick Ravies rather than Rick Davies. But whatever else he is, he's done magnificently with 7 goals.
Hughes to Dutch. The runner is Paul Pleasure. Cole wants it. Well, he could have had it too. Harris on the rebound. Short Ebert. Can't get there. It was a floater. Ebert was pushed into the ground. Out comes Downs. Evans is back in the square, 50 metres away. Barbary. Fry, Painter. Painter will find Davies again. Beautifully put. Oh, what a fine kick. I must say I do now feel sorry for Anthony Dutch, because that ball, the last 2 balls have been put beautifully to Davies.
Peter, I reckon the second was an action replay of the first. Same player on the lead, same spot, same everything. I wonder whether Davies will miss to the right of the post.
He'll certainly push this one to the left. Yes, Greenslade told him how to kick that one, I'm sure of it. Through it goes. 8 goals, Davies. In fact, he's had 9 kicks and kicked 8-1.
And Sturt continued their great form. They went on to win by a massive margin in the end. The final score 28-26, 194 to 12-8-80. Rick Davies kicking 11, Filkey 3, Painter 3, Graham 3, Wilson 2 and Derrington 2. Tim Evans got 6 today for Port Adelaide, Portplesia and Huppets 2 each. As we look at the stats for Sturt, kicks 205, Port 187, marks exactly the same, 78. Handballs, big advantage to Sturt, 133 to 84. Frees 21 to 18. Rucks 1 out of the centre, surprisingly, Port 19 to 14. And have a look at the difference in the scoring shots, 54 to 20. So a very, very big win for Sturt at Unley today against Port Adelaide.